umaga. Mayad nga agahon. Coming to you live from Diniwid, Barangay Balabag in Boracay Island in the Philippines. I'm just getting my day started here with my morning cup of coffee, my Copico Blanca. Copico Blanca is a 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. They call it 3-in-1 because it has a mixture of coffee, cream, and sugar. This one, it says Copico Blanca, creamy coffee mix. It's so creamy. I started the live stream. I was kind of worried that it wouldn't go through because it's raining. It's been raining all night here. Yesterday was a sunny day. It was hot. My friend Michael, he came from Trece Martires in Cavite. Finally got to meet him in person. Good conversation. We were able to hang out before he checked into his accommodations here in Boracay Island. His check-in was at 3, so they got here about 1. So we hanged out. We even hanged out at Starbucks. And then I walked him over to, we walked and then we rode the E-Trike to their accommodation. So he was real happy. I knew he was because he's staying at a nice place here in Boracay Island, one of the best places, and he's staying over in the back beach of Bulabog Beach, which is this time of the year, the waves, hardly any waves on Bulabog Beach. All the waves are on White Beach in the front beach of Boracay. So he loves it already. Him and his partner, they're like enjoying their time already. How he went live on Facebook and all that yesterday at sunset. So I know he's having a good time already. Even though it rained all night, like today, it's raining right now. This could burn off by the time during the day. It could be hot again here. Let me do the weather report since we're talking about the weather here. No weather conditions in the Philippine area of responsibility. There's no storms, there's no typhoons or anything like that. The only thing affecting the Philippines right now that causing the rain is the southwest monsoon, the habagat. It's habagat season, so seasonal rain, thunderstorms, cloudy, mixture that in Metro Manila, Visayas, including us, Mindanao, Pangasinan, Zambales. So pretty much the entire Philippines, the only thing affecting us is the habagat or monsoon season, rainy season. It's definitely here. Here in Boracay, during the month of June, what I've seen, it's a mixture. You get days where it rains, you get days that are sunny. Sometimes it's on the same day. Sometimes sunny during the day, it'll rain in the afternoon. Vice versa. Sometimes rainy in the morning, sunny in the afternoon. Just a mixture. Good morning, brother. Good morning, brother. Shane, my good friend, to the Hood Farms. All right, Shane. Good morning. Fortune Ibernas. Good AM. Hey, good morning. Good mayad nga agahon. Charlie Latz, my friend in Boston. All right, 5 p.m. It's 5 a.m. here, 5:08 right now. Good to have you on the live stream, my friends. Good to have you guys on the live stream. I'll watch you before I drive. Oh, cool. You drive at 6:30 a.m. That's all right. Once we leave Boracay, though, I'll probably go back to my normal, maybe 7, 8 a.m. live streams. I only do it early here because of the Wi-Fi. Actually, earlier, I started another live stream. It didn't last like only a minute. I was kind of worried that that it wouldn't go through this live stream this morning because here in the Philippines, Aklan province anyway, in Boracay Island, when it rains, we have weaker Wi-Fi. I don't know, understand it. Like even at the house, when we're at the house, when it rains, sometimes our Wi-Fi goes out. So one of those things that you'll see when you're here in the Philippines. Edgar, hello, Edgar. Good morning, Edgar. 2D, still cooking lots of food today. You see when you're ready. What's up later? All right. Hey, man, you gotta take care of business, Shane. You can always chat with me. You can always chat with me on WhatsApp. I always reply, man. So, said hi, Charlie. All right, Charlie Lance. All right. Hey, Ria, my good friend Ria in Tennessee. All right. When fitness meets faith. Hi, Ginno. 4 days for you guys in Boracay. I enjoyed your vlogs during your stay there. Thanks. Oh, I'm glad. Yes, today is 27th, 28th, and 30th. Yes, we're leaving on the 30th, right on the 30th. Actually, Rosalie, the place that owns the Airbnb, she said we could stay longer and she wouldn't charge us. But I said, no, we got to get back. We planned on staying 30 days here. So she doesn't have a renter yet for this Airbnb for July. So she said, we could have stayed longer if we wanted. But, I know Leanna misses us and we miss Leanna too, and our dogs and moms, so time to get back. All the fun is over. Will be over soon. All the fun will be over soon. It's all good though. I mean, we've really had a blast. It's been an amazing 30 days in Boracay. It really felt like a second honeymoon for us because we've done so many things. This a slow vacation. We're not rushing. We're not, there's days when we would just stay in the Airbnb all day when it's raining. We're just chilling on the Airbnb. Usually we just do one thing a day. So we like it because it's a slow vacation. We haven't watched a movie since we've been here, so that's one thing we got to do before we leave. And over at City Mall, Boracay right now, F1 is showing with Brad Pitt, so we're gonna watch that. Hopefully tonight. It's a 7 p.m., so that's kind of late for me, but we'll watch it. We'll watch it because we haven't seen a movie in so long now. I mean, almost a year, I think, is the last time we've seen a movie. I think the last movie we saw was Dune Part 2, in Iloilo City. We don't have a movie theater in mainland Aklan, in Calibo, so we don't get to watch a lot of movies. And they have a movie theater here in Boracay Island, so we'll do that. And Dazzle's feeling better, finally. Thanks for all the prayers, and she's doing well. Yesterday, actually, she's been laid up for 2 days, taking BioFlu and all that. But yesterday, she, when she woke up, she said she was really hungry because she's only been eating soup or lugao. Lugao is like rice soup here, and she was really hungry. So we went to D Mall. We were looking for a place to eat, and that's when Michael and Rose were coming in. So it just happened to be around the same time, and we were just looking. We couldn't decide where to eat, and Dazzle said, because we have been thinking, because our good friend Daniel from Jacksonville, Florida, he sent us that money, for us to go out to a buffet dinner. So Dazzle says she wanted to go on a buffet dinner, and Dazzle, she wanted to go seafood. I'm allergic to most seafood, but I was just happy Dazzle wanted to eat, and she was hungry. So we waited. The buffet was at the Henan buffet, and that's Henan is one of the nicer hotels here in Boracay Island. They have at least 6 hotels, I think. Henan Crystal Sands, Henan Palm, Henan Lagoon. Big hotel, hotel with like 300, 400 rooms. And they're known here in Boracay Island for buffets. All their hotels got these amazing buffets. And yesterday at 5:30 was their seafood dinner buffet. So we finally did a buffet. There were other foods there besides seafood, and plus I could eat fish. So I ate fish, and I ate sushi. I ate tuna sashimi. They have a good selection of sushi. So I got some seafood, and then what I really liked amazingly was they had homemade guacamole, and they had homemade guacamole and homemade salsa. So I was like, man, I was happy because I like chips, and they had good chips too. Good. I don't know what kind of tortilla chips, but it seemed like it's homemade. You know, so I was like, I was happy. I was happy with the chips. I was happy with the sushi. I ate a little bit of short ribs. They had like pork short ribs. They did have steak. It says hen and steak, but it wasn't a steak. It's like slices of beef. I mean, it was good. It was tender at least. But I just tried a massive amount of dessert. I had a plate of dessert, but Dazzle, of course. The whole time Dazzle's eating, I'm just watching her. I'm like, I was jealous. I was jealous because she's eating crab, she's eating prawns, big shrimp, she's eating scallops on a shell. I was like, man, you know, I was so jealous. But I was happy for her because she was eating good. And just the smile, just the smile on Dazzle while she's eating all that seafood, you know, it's like, made me happy, warmed my heart. I was so happy. And again, Daniel from Jacksonville, Florida, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sponsoring our Vegas style seafood dinner buffet here at the Boracay Island. JP came in on my work break to drive. Oh, thank you, JP. Appreciate it. I know you're still, or we'll get back to like the normal schedule, like 7 or 8 a.m. start time once we're back home. Oh, there he is. There's Daniel. PH Weather Sounds. Yes, Daniel. The weather, like right now, it's raining. I can hear. You can hear the raindrops because most of the roof here, that corrugated metal, so you can hear it. I can hear it on the sound of the rain, which is nice. Nice and cool here this morning. It's not humid at all, so that's nice. That's nice that it's nice and cool instead of being humid though. JB Manalang, all right, my good friend in Sydney, Australia. Good morning, JB. Hello, everyone. Hello. How's Dazzle doing today? I mentioned already, Dazzle's doing good. She's sleeping, of course, but I mean, we ate a lot. I mean, I was filming it. I just made a quick film because when they opened at 5:30, we were the only ones there. So that was awesome. I just filmed the food real quick. Great selection. I mean, you can see like crab, prawns, shrimp, squid, tempura, sushi. I mean, just fish. I mean, like gigantic fish. But I was able to film all the food, and then every time I got a plate, I was just filming my food because you know now I gotta be careful about filming people now. You know that Vitali guy kind of messed it up for all us vloggers here. So now I'm gonna make a conscious effort now not to film people, and I don't film people anyway. I don't do that. You know, when I film myself, and I film the view because why would you know? People are not that interested on other people and they're just walking, you know. So, but now I have to be careful. So what I did was I was just filming the food and I was just describing it real quick. I was saying round one, my round two. I think I got up to like round 4. I had 3 plates of food and 1 plate of dessert is what I had. Dazzle, she had 2 plates of seafood. And then she had a fruit plate. We got like a lot of fruit. We ate a lot of oranges. They had some really good oranges and papaya. Well, today was rainy. Oh, that's Shane. I was like seeing your what's up, Shane. And then what else did Dazzle get? I mean, she just It's on the all of the film. I'll edit it and I'll make a video out of it. But it was amazing. We had a great time. I mean, we were there over 2 hours. I mean, we were there. We got there. We were there before they opened. We were like the first people seated. They let us in. They gave us an armband. You got to wear this armband that says Henan Hotel Buffet. And we were there before 5:30, but they opened right at 5:30 on time. I was surprised, on time. You know, it's like that doesn't happen here in the Philippines. But 5:30 they opened, and we were the first in there, and we didn't leave there till about 8. So we were there for like 2.5 hours, and we were just like taking our time. We weren't like rushing eating. We're just taking our time, just enjoying everything there. I mean, amazing food. And the price was 1,199, so about 1,200 pesos. So about $21 for a dinner buffet, a seafood buffet in a fancy hotel. There was like a live musician singing in the background. Of course, we had to stay away from the live musicians because that's another thing we gotta watch at YouTube. I mean, YouTube is getting harder and harder to do. It's like music, you know, any type of music, any type of, you get copyrighted for music. So you gotta avoid music, you gotta avoid people, you know, it's a challenge now, becoming challenging to do YouTube. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how all this plays out here in the Philippines, because I know all this Vitali, all this vlog thing that they're strict now with vlog. It'll pass here in the Philippines. That's my opinion now, you know, because the law there's been a law about people, you're not filming people since 2012. You know, you're not supposed to film people without their consent. That's always been a law here in the Philippines. It's just the idiot Vitali ruined it for everybody, you know. So that's kind of like they're like announcing, hey, you're not supposed to, you know, making more circular, saying that you can't do this, you can't do that. He's all over the news still, you know. I'm kind of getting sick of him because he's always on my feed, you know. It's always, I'm like, when are we gonna get rid of this guy, you know? But it is what it is, you know. It's like, I know it'll all blow over here in the Philippines. That's how it is here in the Philippines. When something happens here, it's like an overreaction. All these laws, they're gonna come out. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And then once it dies down, it'll go back to the way it is. That's just how it is here. Because there's so many laws. I mean, here in the Philippines, there's like over amount of laws here in the Philippines that people don't pay attention to. You know, it's like parking laws, LTO, the driving laws. I mean, half of the people here in our province don't have a driver's license or a motorcycle license, so no insurance. You know, it's like, so it's kind of silly. It's kind of like selective enforcement of the law here. Same thing in Boracay Island. There's so many rules on Front Beach here, but you'll still see people not obeying it. You know, it's just the way it is here, the way things work in the Philippines. JB Manalang. Hello, everyone. All right. Tudi. All right. Well, is you not first? Yeah, if you're not first, you're last. Yeah, Talladega Nights. Will Ferrell, man. That's one of my favorite movies. Last, I'm here for the stream, not going anywhere, just watching. Oh, no worries, man. You know, it's like you gotta do what you gotta do, man. You know, it's like cooking, man. You know, that's important. That's important. It's more important than the live stream. But I appreciate you putting on the live stream, my brother. What's up, bro? Hey, Alfie. All right. Good morning, Alfie. You know, you got my what's up, Alfie. So you know, just keep firing away, man. Those questions. We gotta lock it down, man. Your possible move to the Philippines. So we gotta lock that down. There's a lot, man. There's a lot that you got to really prepare for if you're wanting to come to the Philippines. I know you want to really come here, but you gotta make sure everything is your ducks in a row. You gotta make sure you're prepared for all the contingencies or all the things that can happen here, because that way you have a more successful rate of coming here and moving to the Philippines. A lot of the people that you see that fail, they just didn't prepare. They didn't prepare. They're like, they get here to the Philippines. Oh, I wish I had done that. I wish I had opened a money transfer to the U.S. Oh, I wish I had more ways to get my money. Oh, my bank closed my account. I can get an ATM. So many things that you gotta like plan for. For me, I always tell people when they move to the Philippines, have a plan A, have a plan B, have a plan C. It's like the Philippines can't be just your only plan. Or what if it doesn't work out? What if you don't like it, or what you get here and you hate it? You have to have like a plan B and a plan C. Because that's a big move. Big move to move all the way here to the Philippines. I live in Bacoor. All right. My friend Michael is from Trece Martires in Cavite. Now for 23 years and counting, but was born Iloilo City. All right. All right. We're going to Iloilo City. We're going to be in Iloilo City July 10th, 7th to the 10th. We're going to be in Iloilo City. Taking a friend over there. He wanted to check out the medical care at Iloilo City. So I'm going to help him maneuver that. In this early 7 and live in San Jose Antique. I have not made it to San Jose Antique. I almost did. We were scheduled to go there in May, but my friend from Hawaii that was gonna vacation here, I was gonna take him to Antique. He got sick. He got food poisoning on the day of his flight. The day of his flight to the Philippines from Hawaii, he got food poisoning. He said he thinks it was from Jack in the Box. And so I was like, oh man, why did you eat that Jack in the Box? Mother's side, but oh, okay, all right. I wonder if you speak Ilonggo then, since your mother's from Bacolod, your father's from Bacolod, your mother's from Antique. Oh, in Antique, they say another language, Kinirainon or something like that. They have another dialect there. Because when I see Bacolod and Iloilo, Rojas City, a lot of those people, they speak Ilonggo, the dialect of Ilonggo. Went to Manila for good. Oh, okay, you went, 77. All right. Kind of like my path, I was from Manila, then I ended up in Los Angeles in 78, so I was just 12 years old when I ended in Los Angeles. It's good that it feels like second honeymoon. Yes, for sure, JB. And Dazzle and I know that anyway, like I've mentioned before in the live streams. She's always my number one priority above everything, It's like... all this YouTube thing, I can stop this YouTube if if Dazzle doesn't like it, I always prioritize her above everything that I do. Did you go to LaSalle or Ateneo? All right. Those two schools, those are our rival schools. I went to Letran. I was a Letran Knight. I was at Letran College in Manila, in Intramuros, Maria, in Manila. So LaSalle and Ateneo, those were like teams that... I was on the chess team. I played chess in elementary. And I was board number 2 on chess. We had 4 boards, if you understand chess. Board 1, board 2, board 3, board 4. Usually, you have 4 chess players and you have 2 alternates on the team. And I played for Letran College. I was a pretty good chess player in my elementary. Still pretty decent now, I don't get to play much chess anymore. But in my elementary years, I think I started playing chess first grade until 6th grade when I left the Philippines. I was on the chess team at Letran College. And LaSalle and Ateneo, I used to play them on chess. Bruce Jones, all right, my day start, 3:30 a.m. Man, that's early. So don't feel bad. Yeah, I wake up at 4:30 a.m. Like when I start the live stream at 5, I've already been awake. I've already been like answering messages, doing things on the laptop. I'm working on my Pacific Cross insurance. All right, Michael Onstead. I actually met Michael Onstead over at the Beaver, the Canadian Beaver, this past weekend. He was there at the Canadian Beaver while enjoying your live video. Lots of question on these forms. Not too bad though. All right, all right. Yeah, well, it's like, Michael Onstead, he's on Facebook. He replies really good. Really nice guy and respected here by expats in the Philippines. He's got credibility. He does a good job with Pacific Cross and helping out the expats here in the Philippines. Edgar Deem, the seafood buffet was about the same price as the Viking buffet. Yes, yes, about the same, about the same. But if I had to choose, I would probably say because seafood, seafood is like expensive. I do remember the buffet at the Vikings in Ilito was bigger, but less seafood. The Viking buffet is kind of like a variety of things. Like pizza, pasta. It had Chinese food. It had Indian food. Just a variety of food. The one at the Henan, they were focused on seafood. I was kind of worried actually because I knew they were gonna have something that I could eat. Because I can always eat fish, and I knew they had sushi, so I can always. But when I got when I was filming it, I was like the first row was like crabs. Shrimp, prawns, scallop. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna be eating here? But it worked out. It worked out. I mean, both of them are, for the price that you're paying, they're both worth it. I mean, just amazing buffets for like $21. And it's like, and the thing I was gonna mention, they open at 5:30, right? And they close at 10. There is no time limit. Dazzle and I could have sat there till 10 because our table, we had a tiny table like for 2 people, but we could have sat there till 10 p.m. and ate our hearts out. So like for like what's that? 4.5 hours. We could have been eating for 4.5 hours. But man, I was so stuffed. I've never been so full in my life, man. And Dazzle was the same state. She goes, we were kind of like about 8 p.m. and we're like, we're full. We're kind of like sleepy, man. We need to go home and go to bed. Mason Taylor, hi, hey, hello, Mason Taylor. Oh, yeah, she was eating. JB said she. Oh yeah, I mean Dazzle, man. I was like, she was knocking down the prawns. Really looked good, and at first she forgot the cocktail sauce for the prawns, so she just ate it, just the thing, and that's all. They didn't have a sauce, babe. It's like she said she'll look on the next round, and of course she found the cocktail, that red sauce, like the shrimp sauce or something, and it made it better. But the crab, the crab was amazing. I was just looking at it. I was like, oh man, I'm so jealous. Hey, Mom Janet. Hello, Mom Janet. Running, hey, no worries, running around. Oh, thank you, Mason, for subscribing. I appreciate that, my friend. JB, Janet, all right. Doing errands or babysitting grandkids, Janet. Mason, thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much, Mason. Good morning, Ginno. Oracle SD. All right. Good morning. JB, I'm out on runs too. All right. Sounds like busy day, Janet. All right. Yes. Ooh, 8K at this casino. Wow. Congratulations. Wow. Hey, Ginno, good morning. All right. Lucita, my good friend in Maine. JB, that's awesome. Jay, congrats. I know, right? Congratulations. Joe Boyd. All right. Did manage to talk to the owners? No, The reason is like I went to that house and the people that were staying in there, they were just watching the house. You know, they're not the actual owners of the house. You know, that's the problem here. And then, you know, they're really vague on the information. You know, it's kind of like because I wanted to actually film the inside. I told them if I could film, you know, that would be good to help them sell the house. But they just didn't seem like they want to sell the house, man. They don't feel like you know. So I was like, no problem. I said no problem. But the house, they're asking like I think 14 million for the house, and to me that's too much, you know, like for that house, you know. And then like I said, man, you know, maybe Camellia, maybe it's a little safer to buy a house, but still, you know, it's like um, I wouldn't invest that, you know, unless you got a lot of money, to invest, you know, because the one thing I know here, it's not, you know, I keep reiterating it to people investing here in the Philippines and land and homes. It's not like in the US, you know, it's not like me. I bought the house like 9 years ago. I paid 1.5 million. If I ever sell the house, if I get 1.5 million, I'll be happy. It's not like in the US where you can make a lot of profit, you know. So it's not just, you know, I would say it's just not a good market, you know. It's like I would you know, I don't understand why people like insist of like buying here and building a home here. I've just seen so many horror stories of things not working out, you know. I was just telling the story yesterday here in Boracay because when they had the Boracay closure, there's like apartment style condos that were built here in Boracay back in the 2010, 2015. And foreigners bought into it because it's a condo, they don't have to own the land, and they bought into it. And in 2019, the government, the Boracay closure, decided that the condos were built on forest land owned by the indigenous people. So now that whole complex is closed. People lost their money on that condo, you know. So, I mean, to me, it's just like things like that happen here in the Philippines. So if you got money, you know, it's like I think there's just better ways to invest your money, you know, uh, rather than real estate. To me, in the Philippines, you're taking a big gamble on real estate in the Philippines. Ouch! You're telling me that you had a seafood buffet for less than my burgers and fries? Yeah, Daniel, yeah. It was at $21. That was the fee. No added charges, no added fees. That was the exact amount that you paid. I didn't get a discount though. Usually I get a discount for my PWD. Usually I get like 20% discount. But they said because it's already a promo, it's already a good price. And I said, okay, no, when that happens, you know, I always say, "Oh, no problem." I understand. I always say that. Oh, that was one of the things that the PWD. I wanted to talk about that a little bit today because I saw an article, and this is really important. I always get asked this because I have a PWD card. This is what a PWD card looks like. It's got the flag of the Philippines. It's got the disability card, you know, and you have to have this card. And also the senior card is similar. The senior card is same kind of setup, same kind of card. In order for you to get a discount here, if you're a senior or so, the senior card, PWD card, it's only for Filipino citizens. I'm dual citizen. That's why I'm eligible. I get that question all the time because it's confusing, I know, for foreigners because sometimes businesses here will give the foreigner a discount. They'll say your senior discount. So people, you know, but by law here in the Philippines, the only people that can get the senior discount, the 20% discount, are Filipino citizens. If you know, sometimes the foreigner, like at a restaurant, they'll put their senior discount. They won't even ask you for an ID. But the rule says that every time I get a discount, I have to show my ID. So there's actually a number. There's an ID number right here on the bottom. They actually write down the number on the receipt. It's actually, I guess, when they file taxes, that's how it helps the business in their taxes. So if you're a foreigner, if you're not a Filipino citizen, you're not supposed to get a senior discount here or a PWD discount. I get that question all the time. Actually, the Philippine Retirement Authority, PRA, for SRRV holders, because SRRV, they figure, hey, I'm SRRV, I'm retired in the Philippines, I need a discount. You are not allowed, because here's the advisory. I'm reading the advisory. It says here, the 20% discount and the VAT exemption are strictly for Filipino citizens aged 60 years and above. Foreign nationals, including SRRV holders, are not entitled to these benefits. So, and it says here, any attempt to claim these benefits to misinterpretation or falsification may lead to criminal prosecution, cancellation of immigration privileges, and deportation under Philippine laws. So, just keep it. I mean, I know people, I know foreigners here. I have friends here, expats, that they sometimes get the discount, but just don't expect it. Just don't expect it. If a restaurant want to keep your business by giving you a discount, that's them. I wouldn't argue it. But only Filipino citizens can get the discount here. All right, that's pretty good that you can speak both, man. The Hiligaynon and Kiniray. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Howdy, person. Howdy, Dylan K. 2D, Shane. YouTube for you, Ginno, is like a hobby, and everybody changes their hobbies. Don't feel any pressure. For us, the ones around you mean the most, and understand you. I've been down that road. Yeah, I remember. You had all those, subscribers on your channel, Shane. So, it hasn't gotten to that point. But if it does, it's not like I have to keep doing YouTube. It's like my military pension, more than enough that what Dazzle and I need here in the Philippines. I've been retired 14 years here. I manage my money well. I saved every month since the day I landed here. I saved portion of my military pension. So I built a nice nest egg. I was able to buy Dazzle a land here. I was able to purchase our vehicle, our motorbike, our tricycle, everything cash. I don't have credit cards anymore, so I'm financially responsible. I don't buy stuff just for buying it. It's like I'm done with like having a lot of material things. I'm happy with like just building experiences. I'm happy with that. So it's YouTube hasn't gotten to that point for me, but if it does, I can give it up. It's not a big thing. Salute. Hey, salute, Sardenio, salute. Okay, Justin Northern's Adventure. Live your life the way you want to live. Yes, of course. We all have to live the way, live free. Oh, yes. Northern Alaska. All right, Justin. That's pretty cool. Capital gains in the city is not bad. My house and lot at Clark have doubled in prices. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm happy. I'm happy for that, JB. But you might be one of the few stories that are like that. The more I see here is like even here in Aklan province, like people that got into land that they bought that now the land is in contest, or there's no deed, no title, dispute, especially here in Boracay. Very few land here in Boracay is titled, so there's always dispute because it's tax declaration only. So there's But I'm happy that it worked out for you, my friend. But you know, but I just don't want people to get that impression that the way it works in America, because in America, most real estate, if you own it long enough, you make money. You know, here in the Philippines, I've just have not seen the same return on investment. Eating out is so expensive in Canada too. Oh, Tanya. Hello, Tanya. Good morning, Tanya. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. You know, it's like U.S., Canada. It's expensive to eat out. Actually, that buffet for Dazzle night, that's we consider that expensive. We That's our first time ever on a Vegas style buffet here in the Boracay. We've been here all these years. We've never gone to one because we look at it. It's like, move. It's 1,000 pesos. Man, 1,000 pesos. Dazzle, Liana, me, the three of us can eat with that money at a good restaurant. You know, so that is high. Actually, that's why we've never eaten there because like for Dazzle and I to eat last night was like 2,000, almost 2,400, you know, so man, that's like $45. We never eat out like that. We never eat out. Ooh, the light came out. All right. I got my backup. I got my gift from Dazzle here, my light here. Because the light here is on automatic. It cuts off at a certain time. So Dazzle got me this for Father's Day, so I got this light so you guys can see me. It's not so dark. Yeah, I don't think we've ever spent that kind of money on dinner here in Boracay. That's expensive for us, you know. The only reason we were able to do that because Daniel was so kind to treat us to dinner last night. And then there was another thing I wanted. Oh, I wanted to discuss this. This is very important. In Rojas City, I got this in the news, so I got it's legit. It's legit news. The news in Rojas City, it says here, dangerous box jellyfish spotted along Rojas City shoreline. So this box jellyfish, they're not something to play around here in the Philippines. They take this box jellyfish here very serious. It says here, are known for their powerful venom, which can cause severe pain, nausea, and even life-threatening complications. So if you're in the Rojas City, you know, those don't just jump in the ocean. You know, don't just jump in the ocean. Make sure it's an all clear. Usually, I'm sure they'll have signs telling people or warning, you know, not to go on the beach. But you know, you want to check first because this is not something to play around. This box jellyfish. It says here, for treatment, seek medical attention immediately. Remove tentacles. Carefully remove tentacles with tweezers or gloves. But main thing is like see a doctor. See a doctor if you get exposed to the box jellyfish. And here in Boracay, the thing you gotta watch here on the beach is sea urchins. That's the one, you know, not much on jellyfish here in Boracay, but I do know sea urchins you gotta watch, especially on the back beach of Bulabog Beach. There's this, they're like black and they got spikes on them, so you gotta watch those. They actually eat them. They actually like catch them, and like you'll see them selling them on a bucket here, and they cost like 25 pesos, like 50 cents. 50 cents. The inside of it, they'll like cut it fresh, and they'll squeeze like calamansi, like lemon juice, the Filipino version of lemon juice, and you eat it. You know, straight out of the thing. They sell that here. But if you get poked by them, it's not. You know, very painful. There's another kind that doesn't have the stings. It's more round and the outside of it, but those are actually would even hurt you more if you step on it. So just keep an eye on that. If you're here in Boracay, a friend of mine actually, he experienced that. He didn't know what happened. He said what it felt like. He was just walking on the beach without flip flops, without any water shoes, and he was just walking along the water. Like I do that. I like walking bare feet and have like the water, like below my knee and just walking, splashing, love it. But he just felt, he said, tremendous amount of pain. It's something like he stepped on needles. And that's what happened. He had stepped on a sea urchin on White Beach. So keep an eye on that. That's something you don't want to experience that. And if you do experience that, seek medical attention because those things, they have to remove them. You can't like, if some pieces of that gets left, you can get infected. It can get worse. It can get worse. You just have to eat out. Yes, JB. Australia is expensive to eat also, especially Sydney. All right, thank you. All right, Kalali, thank you. Said hi. Hey, just got off work. Peanut butter travels. All right, peanut butter travels. All right. JB. Yeah, definitely. Real estate in the Philippines is completely different and not for people starting out of you are planning to be an investor. Yeah. It's like especially people retiring, man. If you're a foreigner retiring in the Philippines, I have seen so many stories now, and in the people that I know, people here in Boracay, like I said, these are people, Canadians that I know that end up going back to Canada and lost money on that condo that happened here in Boracay. It's like that. That's like some of them. That's their life savings. I know a guy right now. He's a friend of mine here. He's also from Canada. He's been fighting 6 years because he got locked out of his condo that he paid for already, and the building is like getting eaten by the jungle because it's like they close it. It's a perfectly nice condo, but now it's blocked off. Because the dispute over land, because they considered it forest land, they consider it land of the indigenous people here. I don't know the whole story with that, but it's like he's been fighting, he's been hiring lawyers here in the Philippines for 5-6 years. Nothing's happening, and that's even costing him more money. So like I said, there's horror stories that why even put yourself in that. It's so much easier just to rent. That's what I would do. If I move here to Boracay, I'm just renting. I would never buy anything here in Boracay. Did just DoorDash last week from Chinese restaurant with tip $18. Oh, that's not bad. $18 a tip. That's not bad, man. For a Chinese restaurant, and Edgar, that's not bad. Box jellyfish is round and they call it a box. That's funny. That's funny, Daniel. Yeah, but I heard, man, I have not seen one. I have not seen one in person, but not that I want to see a box jellyfish because I guess they're really dangerous. So there is jellyfish on Bye Bye Beach. Yes. I don't know about Bye Bye Beach. They did say Rojas. They said Rojas City, shoreline of Rojas City. So that's probably Bye Bye Beach as part of that. So I would not be surprised if if made it to Bye Bye Beach. I would, but on the article it didn't say specifically Bye Bye Beach. Maybe because that would hurt tourism if they say that. But it does say here, like right there, it says dangerous box jellyfish spotted along Rojas City shoreline. So something to think about. If you're gonna go swimming in the shoreline of Rojas City or any beach in Rojas City, I'd be careful. My goodness, I just opened up the pressure cooker after 40 minutes cooking. Oh, nice, man. I've never tried that pressure cooker, man. That always makes me nervous, that sounds. when he does that. We don't own a pressure cooker, so I usually do, if I want to tenderize anything like beef, I usually do use a crock pot. I just like slow cook everything. I work crocs on the beach due to all the crazy. Yes, yes, that's probably a good idea. And I see many people here in Boracay, they wear as water shoes. That's popular here. I guess I'm just old school, man. I just wear flip flops, and I do like taking my flip flops out and walking underwater. You know, I do like doing that. So, but I keep my eye out. You know, I'm keeping my eye out for sea urchins. That sounds delicious, 2D. Making me hungry. All right, all right. Okay. So that's the another topic. Let me see here. Another topic. So I did the belt fish, the urchin. We're down to our like last, today's the 27th, so 4 days, you know, we're gonna be headed home here on June 30. So and I talked about the senior card, PWD card, and Alfie was on the live stream. You know, it's like I have talked to Alfie twice already. Probably gonna talk to him more because I just want to make sure, that he knows what he's getting into going here to the Philippines. I just see too many people, people that contact me that are like so eager to leave the country where they're from, to come here to the Philippines. I keep telling them it's not that easy. You got to really do your research. You got to figure out where you want to go. It's like, I know I make good videos of Boracay. I know I make videos of Aklan province, make it invite people, inviting to come here. But you still have to do your own research. You still have to medical. I always tell medical is so important because if you come here, chances are, unless you have medical insurance, like with Blue Cross Blue Shield is available here. I know my friend Brian, he has Blue Cross Blue Shield, so at least he has coverage here. And there is Pacific Cross with Michael Onstad. You can get insurance, but it's still a risk in my opinion. For me, I'm able to retire here early. I was able to retire because I have TRICARE medical insurance from the military. So without that, I would have been taking a chance. I would have, for sure, had I not have TRICARE when I had my cancer treatments, that's a lot of money that would have been out of pocket for me. That's why chances are when I was 45, when I was thinking of moving to the Philippines, I would not have been able to do it without my medical insurance, my pension for sure. It's like it's not that easy a move, is what I'm trying to tell Alfie. From talking to him twice, he needs to do more research, plan more. You just can't jump on a plane. You just can't jump on a plane and say, there's a saying here in the Philippines, it goes, bahala na. Like, what happens will happen. Bahala na. When I get there, I'll deal with it when I get there. To me, that's not the way to do it. To me, it requires a lot of planning. If you're moving all the way from, the US, Canada, if you're moving all the way to the Philippines. And even with all the planning you do, things will still come up here. So, you have to be prepared for that. That's why I tell people it's so important to have that nest egg or like emergency fund, to sustain you if something happens here. Like, let's say if you get sick here, you get hospitalized and you don't have insurance, Medicare is not taken here, you get in the hospital, you're gonna start spending money. You're gonna start spending money in the hospital here. I know many people just plan on using credit cards, but that's another thing I tell people. It's like, man, I've seen many people that move here and they still get that mindset. They still get that mindset that, oh, I'll just use my credit card. Oh, I can buy a motorcycle with my credit card. It's like, I'm not a financial expert in any way. It's like I don't claim to be a financial expert. But to me, in order for you to to become successful in retirement, just my opinion, is you need to start living below your means. I know that's a hard concept for some, because I know in the US, we all lived above, above our means. We're always like charging stuff. It's so common in the US to have like 3, 4, 5 credit cards. Oh, I'll just charge it. You're just charging on your credit cards, but that's okay if you're working. Like when I was working, because I knew I could pay off the credit cards at the end of the month, or I had my pension, I had my income from work. But when you're retired, it's different because when you're retired and you start receiving that monthly income, that pension, it's a fixed pension. It's not gonna like all of a sudden grow double or whatever. You're not all of a sudden gonna get a better job, So, I always tell people the key is like whatever pension you get, how little it is. If you're only getting $1,000, $800, it doesn't matter. You just gotta spend below your pension and you'll be okay because you need to save money for that rainy day, for that emergency. The more emergency fund you have to draw on, the better. And to me, it's like when you're thinking of like credit card, charging a motorbike, charging furniture, charging TV, man, the interest on that, and then that's a bill already. That will be deducted every month from your pension already. So to me, that's not that would not be a good plan. Even just thinking, well, when I get sick, I'll just charge it on my credit card. Well, eventually you have to pay that credit card, and then the interest on that credit card, so just my 2 cents, I think it's best like if you build up your emergency fund just in case you get here to the Philippines and something happens. You're not there's people that go homeless here. There's expats here, foreigners that go homeless in the Philippines. You would not think that, but there is. You see them all the time. Unfortunately, you see that, and then some will be asking money from other expats, other foreigners here. Shoulder. I want to move to the Philippines now. Speaking about top topic we're discussing, my son's still in high school. Well, at least your son's in high school already. That gives you time, To me, that's a benefit to you, Zuldir, because that gives you time to prepare, to plan out your retirement or plan out your moving to the Philippines. Like I said, you just don't want to jump on a plane and get here and then see what happens. There's a lot of planning involved. Getting your medical care, making sure you got something lined up for that, or money for your medical care, making sure your banks, making sure you have access to your banks in the U.S. or Canada, or make sure you can transfer your money here in the Philippines, because chances are when you get here, you're not going to have a bank account immediately. You're going to have to rely on your like ATM or money transfer to send money to yourself. There is a like my friend Robbie, before he came here to the Philippines 2 years ago. He's not Filipino. He's American. He's from Rhode Island. Before he came here, he went to New York and he opened a bank account in New York, a Philippine National Bank account, PNB. There's branches in New York, there's branches in Los Angeles, and I think Houston, and others in the US. You can open a bank account with them. You can open a dollar account, a peso account, and an ATM account. To me, that I did that. Before I left the United States, I opened a bank account with PNB. This was back in 2010. I was able to do that. In Los Angeles, I opened an account because all I had to do, once you have that PNB account in the US, when you come here, all you do is like when I got to Calibo, show up in Calibo and said, I want to transfer my account from Los Angeles, California to Calibo. And they love that because they're going to basically get your money, access to your money. You'll be depositing, withdrawing money at the branch here. it was an easy transaction, easy move. I recommend that for people to do that rather than get here. What you're gonna find out when you're a foreigner here, when you're an expat, uh, or you're on a tourist visa, not all banks will allow you to open an account here, depending on the area. Because banks here in the Philippines, they operate differently from banks in the U.S. Like in the U.S., if you have a Bank of America, let's say Bank of America, that's your bank in the US. You can pretty much go at any state in the United States and use your ATM, use your Bank of America card, withdraw money, go inside a bank, withdraw your money, just show your IDs and get money. Here in the Philippines, banks here operate separately from each other. Like it could be in Calibo, there could be two Banco de Oro branch, one in by the Gran Gaisano Mall, the other one by the Capital area. They are two separate entities. You can use ATMs on either one, but if you go inside the bank and want to withdraw money, they're not gonna let you withdraw. You gotta go to your branch. A little different, little different. See, those are the things that you gotta like understand that before you come here. Instapot. Oh, right. I've heard about Instapot. I've heard about Instapot. I don't have one. I don't have one, Shane. I'm making everybody angry. These seem like the best meal after. Oh, cool, cool, man. Instapot is a pressure cooker plus. Oh, nice, man. I gotta like research that now, Shane. I'm sure they gotta have that here in the Philippines if you can do all that, man. Do a long visit in the Philippines before deciding to move. Yeah, yeah. That's what Tanya. I always tell people that it's like I call it a reconnaissance mission. It's like I did that in 2010 before deciding to move here in 2011. Check out province, check out city. I went to Tagaytay, I went to Angeles City, I went to Subic, I went to Baguio, then I went to Boracay. That's 5 places in 1 month that I visited because I was trying to figure out where I wanted to live, and I ended up choosing Boracay. But to me, it's like if you decide to move, like just giving up everything in the U.S. and get on a plane, you're going to a place where you've never been. It's like it lessens your success rate, I think, because it's like you might get to the place and there's going to be things there that's going to surprise you that like you can watch as many videos as you can, but it's different once you're boots on the ground. Once you get here, like even for Boracay, back then there wasn't a lot of videos, but I had an idea because I've been in Boracay before. But when I finally got here, it was different, than what I expected. Yeah, good and bad. It's like I didn't realize there was like the bad part. I didn't realize there's time of the year here in Boracay where it just rains a lot. Especially if there's like a typhoon, a weather that happens, that enters the Philippine area of responsibility. I remember I had an apartment in Station 3 at Casa Camilla, a studio apartment like this Airbnb. I remember like 1 week it rained straight. Like for 1 week it just rained, and I would still walk out. Of course, I had an umbrella. I would get something to eat, but it could be tasking when it's raining all the time. It's like it's a lot better when it's sunny. Your mood's better, everything's better. When you're like stuck in your apartment for like a week, it's like and internet wasn't the best back then, and then power outages. Usually when rain comes, when it includes power outages. So it got hot in the my apartment. So things like that, you won't know that until you like until you get here. So did Alfie change his mind? No, I don't think Alfie. Alfie. Me and him, I'm sure we'll call again. He hasn't changed his mind. I'm just making sure that he knows what he's getting into. It's like I don't want to like sell him the Philippines because I don't do that anyway. All I do is I try to point out to people that I talk to the good and bad of the Philippines. And ultimately, it's his decision. Just I can't stop him from getting on the plane. If he decides to come here, you know, if he's really hell bent on going to the Philippines. But I'm just trying to point out because a lot of times, I know, there's videos on YouTube. You see the videos. Oh man, that place is amazing. Ooh, I can live on $1,000 or that. I'm going. But you don't. You're only looking at like maybe it's the person. Maybe it's a person getting blinded. But like, man, I need to get out of where I'm at. That's a better place. But you just got to do the research. You got to balance it out. Do the pros and cons. Because you're giving up a lot when you leave the United States. That I know. You're giving up a lot because like you're giving up good medical care, and for people on Medicare, you're giving free medical care. It's like to me, I know a lot of people. That's like the one thing that stops them from retiring in the Philippines is giving up Medicare because they're like, well, I have Medicare in the U.S. Most of my care is free. If I go to the Philippines, they're gonna, it's out of pocket. So that's something. That's a big thing. When we're getting older, it's like unfortunately medical stuff happens. Like me, I never thought I would get cancer. I never thought I was always healthy. I'm always a runner. I'm not diabetic. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't take any medicine. I don't take any medications now. I don't have any maintenance medication. But 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. But that's the thing. It's like when we get older, medical stuff happens. You got to account for that. Very important that you have to account for that anywhere you live in the world because it can bankrupt you. It can. One illness. One heart attack, one stroke. That if it's going to be out of pocket, man, that can bankrupt you. Even here in the Philippines, that's going to cost you here like at least 1,000,000 pesos, at least $20,000 to have like a quadruple bypass or something like that. It's gonna cost you here. It's not cheap, those kind of surgeries, they're not cheap anywhere you go in the world. It might be cheaper here, but if you don't have insurance, you're taking a big chance. You're taking a big chance. You can be in serious debt with credit cards if you suffer a heart attack here or a stroke without insurance. Bahala na ang Diyos. I am also retired. All right, good. You're retired military at least, soldier. So that's we have an advantage. The retired military. If you're retired United States military, we have an advantage to retire in the Philippines because we have medical care. We have TRICARE medical care here. So that's a big advantage. And then we have pension that supports us to live here. But a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that, Zoldier. Many people that I see that come here, they're at that Medicare age above 65, and they're just like self-insuring themselves, like building a nest egg, which is, it's doable. If you have good amount of savings, it's doable. If you got $20,000, $40,000 in the bank, it's doable because if you get sick, you can fly back to the U.S. You can just have them stabilize you here if you have the money. But that's the thing. Money's always the deciding factor, unfortunately, for many, because I've seen people here that, like I said, that become homeless here in the Philippines. You wouldn't think that, when they come here because they come with money, but, things happen here. Things happen here. So you got to be prepared. Edgar, is the best place Iloilo to find a good dentist for regular visits? Yes, definitely. I have seen dentists here, but for the best, if you want a good dentist, go to Iloilo City. Iloilo City is like a modern city. That's why. It'll probably even cost you cheaper in Iloilo City than in Calibo or Boracay for a dentist. So I would go. It's worth it. If you live in Calibo, if you live in Panay Island, you're within 4 or 5 hour by bus or public transportation to Iloilo. So it's worth it to go to Iloilo because they would have the better dentist, better equipment, more modern, and a lot of times cheaper. moving to the Philippines sight unseen at retirement age is not the same as immigrating to US, Canada, Australia sight unseen at working age. Yes, those are two totally different things, right, Tanya? It's like at least when you immigrate from the Philippines to go to the US or Canada, you know there's job waiting there. You know there's like a better future. You're coming from the Philippines. You're like, anything's got to be better than this. Going to like Canada or the Philippines. But if you're coming from the U.S. or Canada, you've grown up with the conveniences, with the luxuries, with medical insurance, with like nice roads, nice infrastructure. Going to the Philippines, that's a different thing. That's a different thing. It's amazing. It's like because I've seen both sides. I've lived here now in the Philippines 14 years when I was young too, growing up, and I lived in the U.S. for almost 30 years. So I've seen both sides. I've seen that going there and then coming back here. When you get used to that American lifestyle, if you're like for me anyway, I got used to the American lifestyle. We have a lot of conveniences in America that they don't have here. In America, everything's online. I could do on my phone. Everything's like convenient. I don't have to stand in line for half a day. I don't have to everything's like fast service. Like everything's here. It's like totally opposite. Everything here in the Philippines is slow. Everything takes time. If you process paperwork here, like I said, if you buy land here, that's like a nightmare here. If you buy land here, because it's like you're gonna be going to the DENR, you gotta go to the deed place, you gotta go to like regional court to see if there's anything against that land. I mean, we had to go through that. So I saw it with Dazzle just buying that land, and we bought it from a relative, so we knew it was like they own it. They got but still had to go through all that, and still we ended up paying somebody. We ended up paying somebody 15,000 pesos just to get all the paperwork done. In the U.S., usually there's like a title company. There's like there's no dispute on that land. There's not a lot to worry about buying land. It's like nothing is easy here when it comes to like anything like involve the government agency. I mean, there's like even like going through a terminal here, going to the port at Caticlan Port, going to the airport here. I mean, it's like if you ever fly out of Manila, you're going to go like, what the heck is this? I mean, it's been voted like one of the worst airports in the world, so it's like, there's a lot, coming from when you're in America, you got all the convenience, luxury, everything's efficient. Philippines is totally opposite. The Philippines is like inefficient. A lot of inefficiency here. A lot of things here that's gonna test your patience. That's why I always tell people that's one of the things you have to bring to the Philippines is a lot of patience. A lot of patience to adjust here. But once you adjust though, like me, once you adjust to the lifestyle, you adjust to the slow pace, your expectation is low, you don't have a high expectations, it's a good life because it's less stressful, it's less things that happen. It's quieter. It's a quieter life here. You do see in the news here, like sometimes like the Philippine politics, but nothing like in the U.S. Not what I see in the U.S. There's no protesting. There's no people throwing stuff at you, yelling at you, like mad at you. None of that happens here. None of that stuff happens here. It's just a more peaceful life here in the Philippines. I will have 3 different banks that work overseas, at least 2 medical insurance to cover me. See, that's what I'm talking about, Daniel. You're prepared. That's what I'm saying. You're going to come to the Philippines. You ain't got to worry about nothing. It's like, because you're prepared. There's people, Daniel, will surprise you that come here and they just, they wonder why they struggle and they wonder why they're not successful in staying here is because they didn't prepare. They didn't. They're not as well prepared as you. Well said, Tanya. All right, JB. All right. God bless. God bless, Rep Red. God bless. If you didn't choose Boracay, what was your second choice? Oh, JB, that's easy. My second choice was Baguio City. I wanted Baguio City because of the cooler temperatures. After looking at Baguio and Tagaytay, it was a toss-up, but I like the vibe. I like the vibe in Baguio. And I know now, and that was in 2010 when I did my recon. So now it's different. I've been to Baguio twice now since 2010. I mean, the traffic now in Baguio, we drove our car to Baguio, our little tiny Toyota Wigo, and I couldn't find parking for my car. Man, we went to like the SM Baguio. I couldn't find parking in there. We went to Burham Park, couldn't find parking in Burham Park. That's little nice. We finally just parked our car at the Airbnb and started riding the jeepney. And then, traffic, I was like, insane amount of traffic in Baguio City, man. I was surprised, But, 2010 to like 2022, when we came, 12 years, it has grown, those 12 years. I'm kind of glad that I didn't end up in Baguio. I'm kind of glad that I chose Boracay instead. But I'm a beach person anyway, so I was always leaning towards a beach anyway than the mountains. Those were my two choices when I was trying to figure it out. I was like, beach or mountain, beach or mountain. But beach always wins for me because I'm a beach person. My years in Long Beach, California, like really kind of like cemented like the beach life for me. I'll be keeping my Instapot when I come permanently to live in Iloilo City. Probably be my only cooking tool with rice cooker because we know rice is life. Rice is life. That is so true. That is so true, Shane. Rice is life. Rice is life in the Philippines. You'll see that, man. Like Unli rice is like so popular now everywhere here. Even the Carinderia now offers Unli rice, unlimited rice. JB, I think you should also tell people who are thinking of moving to also start eating rice before coming to the Philippines as part of their preparation. It's like, actually me, JB, to tell you the truth, I don't eat much rice. I eat more bread. I eat sandwiches. I eat salad and sandwiches for lunch. And for morning, I eat oatmeal, granola, bread, pandesal. I really only eat rice at nighttime, and then sometimes I don't even eat rice. And when I do eat rice, I only eat like half a cup. I'm not a big rice eater. Even the buffet last night, I didn't eat rice. I ate I didn't even eat pasta. I ate meat, mostly like meat. Well, there was rice in the sushi. That's right. There is rice on that, but I'm not big on rice. I'm not, Unli rice. I've never ordered Unli rice. That's too much rice for me, man. I'm always just like 1 cup of rice, and usually Dazzle and I share 1 cup of rice when we get like 1 cup of rice. We're not big rice eaters, but hey, it's like that would be good if they come to the Philippines. Like start eating rice. Get used to it. Get used to it. Then 2D, doing the same. Will have 3 to 4 boxes sent to me once I am settled and Instapot. Don't leave home without it. Don't leave home without it. That's funny. Don't leave home without it. And the Canadian healthcare is free. And it is a big thing to consider if we move there. Yes, see, that's the thing, right? Canadian healthcare is free. Medicare, mostly free, I heard, from the United States. So it's like, that's a lot to give up, because when you move here, if you don't have that, you're gonna if you have to pay out of pocket, that's it could get expensive here, if you get sick here in the Philippines. Hello, Jamie. Yes, better love rice. Better love rice. You are so right. Instapot is like an American Express card. I was trying to think. I know I heard that term, don't leave home without it. And It's been so long that I've seen commercials like that. So I forgot that it's an American Express. I should know that because when I was in the military, our government card was American Express. I remember when they came out with that in the military, when we go temporary duty, when we go get to different assignments, we have to use our American Express government card. People think they like rice until they go to the Philippines where rice is life. Rice is life. It is. I mean, it's rice is life here, man. I'm amazed sometimes when I eat at those places and I see only rice and guys just sit there and they keep scooping rice on their plate. They got like one leg quarter. They'll order like one leg quarter and they'll have four rice with like 4 cups of rice with one leg quarter, and soy sauce, but soy sauce, and they're eating with their hands and they're just like loving it. They're loving it. Rice in any Asian country is life. Eat it morning, noon, night. Even oh yeah, I know. I mean, even the desserts, even the desserts like the suman here in our province is called latik. Latik is like sticky rice, and on top is like a brown sugar coconut cooked in brown sugar. It's called latik. It's delicious. It's like a good dessert almost. That's a snack here. That's a snack here in Aklan province. Mama Janet. All right, all right. All right, Ray, my good friend in Sacramento, California. All right. Did you and Dazzle eat at the Mandarin Bay Resort and Spa Boracay Buffet to try their Angus? No, because I knew Dazzle wasn't going to really eat the prime rib, Ray, because looking at the prime rib, it had blood, juices on it. So when I asked Dazzle, of course Dazzle's like the deciding, factor. She wanted the seafood buffet. And of course I'm allergic to most seafoods, so but I was okay because for me, I'm just happy that yesterday finally got Dazzle out of the Airbnb because she's been under the weather for a couple of days. So finally got her out, and then she was excited. I could tell, it's like the minute we got there and that she got her first plate of a seafood crab. She had crab, prawns, shrimp, scallops. The first plate, I could saw her beam, I could see her smile, man. You could tell, oh, she's okay now. She's not sick anymore, because she had like 2 big plates of seafood last night, and then desserts and fruit plate and other stuff. I mean, we went through some food last night, but we were in a food coma by the time we got out of there, because we got there like at 5:30 and we didn't leave till like 8. We could have stayed till 10, because there's no time limit. We could have stayed there till 10, but I was getting sleepy. I was like sitting there, my belly was full. I was full, and I was like, man, babe, I wish they had coffee. That was I wish that I didn't think about it. Actually, I should have gotten coffee but I was stuffed anyway. I really didn't need to eat more than that. I would have enjoyed the prime rib. I know I would have enjoyed that more. Dazzle's not a big meat eater anyway. She prefers seafood. That's why we ended up at the Henan. We ended up at the Henan Crystal Sands Resort. They're priced about the same. I think the one at the Henan was around 1,200. The one at the Mandarin Bay was like 1,400. It's only 200 pesos more, so only about $3.50 more. Just probably because of the prime beef, because they have prime beef and they have lamb. Over at the Henan, they didn't have lamb or prime beef. They just had steak. And the steak that they had was like cut up steak already. It was tender. I had couple of little pieces of steak. It was tender at least. And they had like a brown gravy sauce that I put on it. But both worth it. I'm sure that was the first time for Dazzle and I anyway eating at any of the buffets here, because we've always thought, Ray, that they're expensive for us anyway. Imagine if Dazzle, Leanna, and I would eat there at a buffet like that we ate last night. That would be 3,600 for 3 of us. Man, that's a lot of money here in the Philippines. That's like a 1 week of grocery for us already just to eat dinner, So it was our first time. It was, and thanks again to Daniel, we were able to do that because Daniel bought us our dinner last night. Most of what I eat is Asian foods. I used to be a chef for a Japanese guy years ago. Taught me, oh man, I can't wait to meet you then, Shane. I love me some Japanese food. That's what I ate mostly last night. I had like 3 pieces of sashimi. I had like maybe another 4 pieces of the tuna roll, kind, like California roll. That's what I focus on. They had good soy sauce too. It's not the Filipino soy sauce. It's kind of like the Japanese lighter soy sauce, and they had I put some wasabi in it, and then I had like the pickled ginger. To me, that's a perfect bite for me when I can get sushi or sashimi dipped in the soy sauce, that little kick from the wasabi and then ginger. Man, that's like a perfect bite for me. I enjoyed that last night. That was mostly my seafood, was like the sushi, and then the fish. I had like some grilled fish that I ate last night. Because I can't handle the shellfish anymore, which is unfortunate because I love shrimp and I love crab. So I can't even eat squid anymore because the last time I had 1 piece of calamari from a plate that Liana can eat calamari. She's allergic to shrimp, but she can eat calamari. But I was allergic to calamari. Oh yeah, Gina, your souls get a kick out of this. My buddy having me pet sit. All right. He went fishing, so I shaved his Shih Tzu for the fun of it. He did need a bed. Yeah, Dazzle, Dazzle does all the grooming for Chloe. So we got that electric clipper for dogs. It's got a little doggy on the electric clippers, and Dazzle's gotten good at it. When she first started, she wasn't, I used to look at Chloe. I was like, what happened to Chloe? But now she's really good at cutting her. She's been doing it for many years now. So she's gotten good. She's gotten good at grooming Chloe. Hello, JJ. Hello. LOL. I am getting as prepared as I can due to all the expats seeing go broke. I know, right? I know there's a lot. I mean, I watch those videos too, Daniel, and I have not personally known somebody that's gone broke, but I see all these expat here that go broke here in the Philippines and make blogs about getting scammed. And that's the biggest thing. You got to be careful with the scam. I mean, they got so many scams going here. You got to be careful with that here. It's really, that's the thing, to finding trusted people when you get here, trusted people that you can befriend, that's going to watch out for you. That's so important here, I think. Because, it's a poor country, there's people trying to make that quick buck, trying to scam other people, unfortunately, it's like, but you can get scammed anywhere in the world, there's just people there, there's some people that are not nice, that's their business sometimes, that's their hustle to make money, is to scam other people. Yeah. The girlfriend and family. I know, man. That, unfortunately, I do know people. That's why I've mentioned before. I've made a video about it, that your biggest decision for single expats, older gentlemen coming here to the Philippines, the single most important decision you'll make here is finding the right Filipina. The right Filipina can make your life here in the Philippines amazing, and just you're gonna spend the rest of your life happy. But the wrong Filipina, man, that could really break you here. They can, I have seen that. That personally, I have known people that the Filipina didn't do them right, and I mean, from my point of view. But there's always 2 sides to the story. It's like, it's of course the ones that you see on the videos a lot of times. The Filipina did me wrong. But a lot of times it's 2 ways. It's like that's why I always tell people, when you meet your Filipina, meet the family, get to know her family. get to know her really well before you open your wallet, you know, because too many people open their wallet too fast, you know, start just like spoiling the Filipina. Next thing you know, their families wanting more, and then you know you're just passing out your money. And to me, it's like, man, this is your retirement in the Philippines. That should be your priority, to be like successful in your retirement. You know, you can't base your happiness on just the Filipina that you met. You know, to me, it's better like if you retire here in the Philippines, find your happiness first. Don't base your happiness meeting a person here and having a Filipina to consider yourself happy. I think you have to be happy with yourself first before you find the right Filipina anyway. You know, it's like if you're such in a hurry to rush into a relationship, rush into that, you know, you see that all the time. I'm sure you guys see that too, where you know, LDR, you know, it's like online, a meeting at the airport, you know, here in the Philippines. Next thing you know, they're building a house at the girlfriend's land, you know, and that's always tricky, you know, that's always tricky because you know, foreigners, expats can't own land here. So if you build anything on that land and something goes sideways with the relationship, you don't have any rights to that house. That house belongs to your girlfriend, partner, wife. You know, no divorce here in the Philippines. And then as a foreigner, as an expat, you don't have a lot of rights here. You know, it's like your partner can accuse you or something at the barangay, and more likely they're gonna side with your Filipina partners. That's why I said, you know, you gotta vet your Filipina. Know before you open your wallet. Know before you start spending so much money in her and her family that they're trusted people that's gonna watch your back when it's when you get sick, that they're gonna take care of you. You know, like I said, biggest decision you'll make here in the Philippines is finding the right Filipina. I was just blessed, man. I was just blessed, you know. That's why with Dazzle, I was just blessed that, you know, I found the right Filipina. That's why I do not mind at all that Leanna, Dazzle's sister, lives with us. I support her. I support her mom now. The younger nephews, when it's time for them to go to college, I do not mind at all to like pay for their college. I already told them that because from the love that I've gotten from Dazzle and her family, I'm just reciprocating. You know, it's like I'm happy to help them as you know, as any way I can. You know, I want them to, you know, my legacy when I'm gone. You know, I'm gonna be 59. Hopefully, I got more years left. But if I'm gone, at least I had a good legacy. At least, you know, Dazzle graduated college. Miko, the younger brother, we helped him put through college, his grad. And Leanna, she's going to go to nursing school. The nephews needs, I'm going to put him through like seamanship school, you know. So that's the plan. That's the plan, you know, because I'm just giving that love to them because of the love they given back to me, the way they treat me. I mean, they treat me so good. You know, it's like they don't want me doing things. You know, they're like, oh, how come Ginno's doing that? Don't make him lift that, or don't do that. You know, everything is done for me by Dazzle and her family here. They spoil me here, so I spoil them back. Edgar, red rice is healthy rice. I've not had red rice, man. I know there's brown rice. I've heard about that, but I've never had that. I've never had that, Edgar. I've only eaten white rice. I've only eaten white rice. I love that place you ate at the mall, the Video Unlimited. Oh yeah, man, Rib Shack. It's called the Rib Shack. Man, that place is awesome. I love that place. They're gonna open one in Calibo, Shane, in our town. I'm gonna be like 10 minutes away from a Rib Shack. Man, that's gonna be my favorite place to eat, man. I can't wait till they open that at Grand Gaisano because that spicy Korean chicken, man, I love that thing. You got a sauce, a little saucer kimchi, and the spicy barbecue sauce with rice. Man, that's like for me. I mean that they do have ribs, and somebody had made a comment, Gino, you went to a rib place and didn't eat ribs. I've had the ribs. I just prefer the chicken because the ribs didn't have kimchi. It didn't come with kimchi, and the ribs they had didn't have the spicy Korean sauce. I guess they decided not to have a spicy beef. They should really. They should make like a Korean beef ribs. You know, maybe I'll suggest that. But man, that barbecue spicy Korean barbecue chicken, man, I could eat that. Man, I could eat that. That's one of my favorite food in the Philippines now, and it's so reasonable. You know, it's so cheap, man. It's like $2.50, I think, was like, you know, for that plate, and unlimited rice, you know, unlimited rice. Not that I eat a lot of rice, but you know, for people that like to eat unlimited rice, and it's a good deal. All right, Terry. All right, Terry, my friend Terry. He's a, hey Gino, I will have a Sonoran hot dog. All right. Hey Terry, I saw your comment. I haven't answered it on Facebook. I know you mentioned like, you know, I must have been like, I was, man. I was looking at Dazzle's plate and I was like, oh man, Dazzle's so lucky. You know, I was thinking Dazzle's so lucky, but I'm thankful, you know, I'm thankful anyway, Terry, because at least now, you know, I can taste food again. I mean, I went through like a year, over a year where I couldn't taste food. And that was not a good thing. That, you know, I was just basically eating just to maintain nutrients on my body. I was drinking a lot of shakes. I was doing a lot of smoothies. Dazzle used to make me dragon fruit smoothie, carrot smoothie, green vegetable smoothie. I mean, I was just drinking a lot, and I couldn't even taste that. And then spicy food, man, for the longest time, I couldn't eat spicy food, but now I can eat spicy food again. Not a spice that I used to like, but I'm okay. At least I can taste it now. I'm just grateful that I'm able to taste food again because I'm a foodie, man. I love food, man. Like the Sonoran hot dog, man. I can only dream. I can only dream of the Sonoran hot dog. If for people that don't know, in Arizona they have this hot dog where they just throw everything at it. You know, it's like loaded. It's like a loaded hot dog. Sonoran, like I guess Sonoran Desert. They named it after the Sonoran Desert, and it's just amazing. It's amazing. You can put like fresh cut onions on it. You can put jalapenos on it, and it's like amazing, amazing. That's cool. That's cool, man. You're gonna. I will have a Sonora hot dog for you. That's awesome, Terry. That's awesome. JB, Instapot and air fryer I bought over. Yeah, yeah. That's like those. We have an air fryer, but it broke. Our air fryer broke, but we do have an oven now. We have an electric oven, the big oven too. I can fit a turkey in that oven, so I'm eager to get back home now. You know, it's like I gotta look for a baking class because Dazzle and I wanted to take baking classes and start baking in our oven in Calibo. I'm sure we can find a place in Calibo, like take a few baking classes to learn how to bake. Because we have to level up our game. You know, we do bake, but I need some instruction, man. I can't just keep following online and YouTube, man. I want some like show me how to bake some stuff. You know, I wouldn't mind learning how to bake really good stuff. Captain Ron. All right, you need a 220 120 converter for your kitchen appliances. No, Captain Ron. You know, the most of our appliances are bought here, but when I did come to the Philippines, I did bring like I had that Wii game, and that was 120, so I had to buy like a small transformer to connect to my Wii. Unfortunately, my classmates in college, they plugged it into the wall on a 220. It blew it up, you know, so I don't have the Wii anymore. And when that Wii broke, that video game, I never bought another video game again, you know, because I was like, I don't play video games anymore. But I had I brought that Wii. Dazzle used to like that Wii because there's like a bowling game in there. You simulate moving, you know, your hand on the lane. She like that game, but we don't play video game. I don't even have time for video games anymore. If we had a video game. But yes, you would need like it's called a transformer is what they call. It comes in different sizes depending on the appliance that you bring from the US, the 110 or 120 to because the electricity coming out of the wall is 220. So that transformer, you plug in that transformer to the wall and the transformer to your appliance. So I guess it reduces the 220 to 120, so it doesn't blow up your appliance that you bring. But a lot of times, it'll eventually, whatever appliance you bring from the US will break anyway here because of all the power surge here, all the power outages. The electricity here is not like in the US where it's stable. It's here. That's why you even have to buy like surge protectors for your surge things for your computer. You got to be careful leaving something plugged here. Even your cell phone, if you got it plugged in the wall, you better watch it. You better not just leave it. At least keep an eye on it, because next thing you know, it'll like damage your cell phone here, because it's the electricity. Something's not the same standard of electricity in the US. I might have to get one of them too. Yeah. If you bring appliances, 2D, if you ship an appliance here from the US in a balikbayan box, you'll need a transformer. They're easy enough to get. If you go to a Handyman or Ace Hardware, they sell them at Ace Hardware, and they're common. They're common because there's a lot of people that bring appliances here from different countries, not just US and Canada, from Australia, from other foreign nations. So when they come here, that needs that. I don't know why the Philippines just don't go with like 120 like everybody else. I don't know why the electricity is 220. Correct, Captain Ron. All right, JB Manalang. Yeah, I haven't seen any expat bids on having one. You think they would invest in one? I think most of the expats, I think the reason why you don't see them, like even me, I don't have one, because eventually you just buy stuff here. Eventually whatever you bring to the Philippines is gonna break. Anything electronics, really. I mean, most electronics only have a certain shelf life, especially if they're getting exposed to the electricity here, the current here of electricity. So eventually whatever you bring with you in the balikbayan box, it's gonna break. You're gonna replace it with something that you buy here. And then a lot of times people, when they move here, like I did, I didn't bring anything. I didn't even ship a balikbayan box because I figured I would just get whatever I needed here. It's like I had my suitcase, I had my backpack, and I was good because I wanted to be mobile. I wanted to be able to, like, if I didn't like Boracay, I wanted to be able to like jump on another place to go to Baguio. I didn't want that. You bring 4 balikbayan box, like on the you bring 4 balikbayan box. If you move to an area here and you got 4 balikbayan box and you have to move, to another island, it's a challenge to move all that stuff. It's going to cost you money. We don't have here in the Philippines, not that I know of, moving companies that will box all your stuff and then move it to another location. I'm sure they probably exist, but you just don't see that. You don't, and I'm sure if there is a company like that here in the Philippines, they're gonna charge you an arm and a leg for it. It's not gonna be cheap. Most people here just move. Like for me, if I had to move to like a different island, I would just load everything what we got in my car, ferry my car to the next destination, and that would be it. And if I did have a car, I might rent a jeepney and load the jeepney appliances on the jeepney and things like that. But, like I said, the minute you start, that's why I was even telling Alfie, if he decides to move here to the Philippines, I told him the first year of adjustment here in the Philippines, I was recommending to him, don't buy anything. Don't buy anything. The first year, live as frugal as you can. That way, after that first year, you're able to save some money. You can see if you can save money. You can see, like, let's say you bring in $1,000. Can I really live on $1,000? Make sure you do that. Don't live paycheck to paycheck. Don't live pension to pension. It's like, make sure you're putting away $200 of that. And the best way to do that, if you move into like an Airbnb or an apartment that's furnished, don't buy stuff. Just don't buy stuff, because the minute you buy stuff, that's when that life in the US, that accumulating things, it's like, I tell people when they retire, I mean, if you got money, you can buy all you want. I mean, if you got a big pension, you can do whatever you want. But most of the people that I see that are coming to the Philippines are moving here because they're on a limited budget. They're retiring here on Social Security alone. So to me, the first thing you have to learn, get out of that materialistic US lifestyle where well, I'm moving there, I want to buy a new motorcycle, I want a flat screen TV, I want appliances, I want a bigger refrigerator. That's not the thinking, and then charge it on a credit card, because I've seen people do that. They'll charge, I'm like, to me, you're retiring, but you're living that, you're still working, like that. You got to get out of that mindset. If you come here with $1,000, let's say you live in a less than $200, like $150 rent, $50 electricity, you still have $800. And if you budget correctly, you'll be able to save $200 of that every month. In a year's time, that's $2,400. And then you can see that, hey, I might be able to do this thing if I can just live frugal. But if you're living pension to pension or paycheck to paycheck, your chances of success here is lessened, because one incident can knock your retirement done. You can get sick and all of a sudden all your money's like, the hospital is taking all your money. Happy to hear that Dazzle was cured by the buffet. She was, Daniel, because like I could tell, like, she's been sluggish. Of course, she hasn't been eating the last 2 days. But the minute she got her first plate of seafood, man, I could tell the smile on Dazzle. Even when I took her picture, she was happy. She was happy. All Filipinos love seafood. Yeah, I would say, and that's probably a correct statement there, Shane. If you think one Shih Tzu, Chloe, is a handful, try 3 in the same house. Oh man, it is. I bet 3 of them. That's fun though. To me, that would be fun. I wouldn't mind taking care of like 3 Shih Tzus. I'm a dog lover though, so it's like I wouldn't mind. I would love that actually. My dad even brought a LED TV from Australia on the plane. On the plane, that's funny. I was so shocked. It made in one piece. That is funny. That is funny, man. The question, JB, is that LED TV still working? Because a lot of times, when you move TVs around, and then again, the electricity here in the Philippines, a lot of times, those things will eventually give out here in the Philippines. Buffet cures many ailments. Buffet cures many ailments. That's funny. Good morning from Ormoc City. All right, Skating Gizer. All right, Ormoc. I've never been to Ormoc, man. I've heard good things. I heard good things about Ormoc. I deeply love Japanese tempura. All right, and we'll eat it every 3 or oh yeah, for sure, man. Tokyo's got amazing food anyway, Daniel. You're gonna love your time when you visit Tokyo. Plenty of Japanese in the PH, and you'll have no problem finding tempura. Yes, tempura is like it's easy enough to find. There's a good place here in Boracay on Front Beach. It's called Hakata. Hakata is our favorite Japanese restaurant here. There's another one, Hama, on D Mall, but I've found that I like Hakata better than Hama on D Mall. Tudye, concur, cause a good buffet is my battle buddy. Your battle buddy. That's funny. What are you having dinner today? We don't plan that far ahead because actually, since we've been here in Boracay, we haven't cooked. We haven't, we're gonna spend 30 days here in Boracay and we haven't cooked because for one, the Airbnb has a stove, a 1-burner stove, but it's gas. And we don't use gas as cooking like in the Philippines. We have everything in our house. Our house is electric. The propane gas it just worry me here about leaking and all that. So I don't like using. Dazzle doesn't like using them either. So we haven't cooked the whole. It's gonna be 30 days here in Boracay. We just eat at the Carinderia. There's a Carinderia. There's like several actually here in Diniwid. Carinderia is like a cafeteria style food. They got it on a glass display so flies can get in it, and they'll show you like the vegetables, meat, chicken, fried fish, fish in a soup. And Dazzle and I, when we eat at the Carinderia, both of us, we can eat for 200 pesos. That's the most, and that's with a vegetable dish, fish, rice, meat, and that's about $3.50 per meal. So for us, it doesn't make sense for us to cook just because, and then we get to try the local food here, local different carinderia, different adobo, different sinigang, tinola. We're eating all the Filipino food while we're here. And then when we go out, the buffet, Japanese food. It's a vacation. We're treating it like a second honeymoon. So it's kind of like it's not important for us to cook. When we get home, we'll cook all our meals again. So it's not a big deal. 2D, a lot of Japan foods are deep fried. I love the spices, and deep fried veggies are the best. Yes, I like them. The tempura I love because I like how, when you dip it in that sauce, Shane, how the sauce is mild. It's not like, Filipino soy sauce is like strong. It's like, it's not a light soy sauce. Filipino soy sauce is like a dark and got a lot of salt in it, I assume, because it's like a really strong taste. But like the sauce on the tempura or the soy sauce on the sushi, they're light. That's kind of like my thing. I like those. Like if I had to dip a sushi in like Filipino soy sauce, I don't think it's gonna be very good because again, the soy sauce in the Philippines is strong. It's strong. Sushi rolls are my battles. I can't make them like they can. Oh yeah. Well, Japan, they're like it's an art in Japan, man. I've eaten in those restaurants in Japan where there's like maybe only 5 or 6 people, and there's a chef, and then he's making you eat sushi. I've eaten many times like that there. That's kind of cool. Like you're like in a little, looks like a little closet or something, a little restaurant, but you got like the chef making all the stuff and handing you to eat on your plate. JP's back. All right, JP, you made it, man. Hello, JP. Has Leanna thought about becoming a nurse or physician? Down the road, I mean, she'll just be happy to become a nurse, JP. I know, I'm just pushing her to get to nursing school, and then that would be, I'm sure, down the road, once she sees that opportunity, if that opportunity presents itself for her. But more common here, I know more common for Filipinas or Filipinos when they go to nursing school here. They end up working abroad as a nurse, and they just stay as a nurse, But I do know about nurse practitioners, physician assistant. I was in the hospital, so I'm familiar. If that program later on becomes available to her. Hoping my brother finds me a silly happy farming for self-sustainability and go out fishing. Don't forget about that. My bro, Teddy, it's doable here. I mean, in Aklan province, this is mostly, the whole Aklan province is mostly either farming or fishing. And then tourism, of course, because of Boracay Island. Tourism, as far as mainland, is not that big, because a lot of times when people come to our province, they just go to Boracay. There's a lot of good tourist places in mainland Aklan, but it just doesn't get visited, because of Boracay. They see the beach here in Boracay, and they, of course, they're not gonna leave. They're not gonna find a better beach than Boracay. But like on mainland, it's nothing but rice fields, nothing but farms, nothing but fishing towns, like commercial fishing. So that's not a problem to find find like a happy farming. I know, like even in because when we were before we bought our land, Shane, before in Katiklan, we were looking at land close by our subdivision, like in Aliputos, Barangay Aliputos. Man, they had some cheap land in there. You know, they had a lot of like farmland there, a lot of cheap land there. Because again, you know, they become cheap because like I've noticed the reason that the land gets cheaper here in the Philippines with in Aklan province anyway, I can vouch for Aklan province, is a lot of people are giving up on farming. You know, so I don't want to discourage you on farming now because a lot of times what I'm seeing, Shane, is like the older generation, the dads, the grandpa, they're into farming, but the new generation, they don't want to do farming. They want to go to college and they want to be on a boat, on a seamanship, a nurse. They want to work IT. They, you know, they don't want to follow the footsteps of their dad and grandpa. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing more like farms even in the Philippines here, that you'll just see land that it's not being used for anything anymore, you know, just because of that. You know, the younger generation, they know, I guess they know how hard farming is. They know how hard become a fisherman is, a commercial fisherman. They want to get educated and they want, you know, jobs in the big city in Manila or Cebu or abroad. You know, a lot of, that's like the big dream for a lot of Filipinos. Most Filipinos that go to college in the Philippines, they all want to go abroad. They want, you know, that's the goal, is to work abroad, not work in the Philippines. Unfortunately, because they don't pay well in the Philippines. Had to give pork. 2 o'clock. Oh, give up work. I understand, Mama Janet. I understand. I worked in a Japanese American restaurant while in high school. I make really good teriyaki. Ooh, nice. Thank you. Oh, JP, all right now. You're gonna have to make me some of that good teriyaki, man. I love teriyaki. I need to have at least 2 years of emergency fund and other savings before I would start helping others. Good plan there, Daniel. And that's the thing, you know, it's like, right, Daniel? You know, this is your retirement. This is your move to the Philippines. You know, you have to, you know, it's not being selfish. I know it's hard to do when you get to the Philippines because there's a lot of people here that you'll see that are poor, that are struggling. You want to help them out. But man, your priority is supposed to be your retirement. Making sure you have enough money, making sure that your retirement will last. That should be the priority. A lot of times, that priority gets sideways. Like I said, when you meet the wrong Filipina, you know, your retirement gets sideways because, you know, you end up spending, you know, you lose that, you know, you lose that thinking, you know, it's like, you know, for me, it's important to think that you're coming to the Philippines to move here on a pension on your retirement. Don't give up that dream of retirement in the Philippines just because you met a Filipina. Make sure you discuss that with the Filipina, that, you know, in the beginning stages of the relationship. Make sure you discuss that, hey, I'm retired. I want to stay retired in the Philippines. You know, that Filipina might not be interested in that life. You know, that Filipina might be looking at you as a ticket to go to your country, to Canada or to Australia or the United States. So those discussions have to happen in the beginning of the relationship. You know, not when you're already married and you're gonna fight. I want to go to the U.S. How come you're not taking me there? You know, those kind of things. Because, you know, you're coming here to retire. This is gonna be like the fourth quarter of your life, to enjoy the rest of your retirement. You know, not to go back to the U.S. and work again. You know, something to think about. You know, I mean, we're all different. I mean, you know, it's like I said, you know, it's like just pointing out my point of view there. You know, it's like to me, it's like people give up on their retirement too easy sometimes because they meet the girl of their dreams and they're ready to give up everything for the girl of their dreams. You know, it's like, Ginno, that's inspiring. For this highly restricted. Eat for me. All right. I'm still careful. You know, even at the buffet, I mean, I didn't get too carried away. You know, I still watch what I eat, and that's a one off. You know, it's not like we're gonna eat buffet. You know, probably eat, it'll be years before we eat. And yeah, that was our first buffet ever. It's like I really watch what I eat. I take good care of my body now because it's important for me. That's like I want to stay healthy. A financial is good to have. All right. Oh, I'm getting close to like my 2 hour mark here. So let me try to get through the comments here. I had a rotisserie before I moved into my tiny home. I miss it. I miss it. Our oven came with a rotisserie. We actually cooked on the rotisserie. We tried it once. We cooked the chicken on rotisserie. It kind of dried up, so I gotta find another technique. I gotta learn another thing. Hey JB, hey J2D. Best advice I can say about baking is measure with a scale. Everything turns out okay. All right, scale. I'll have to remember that. Have a scale. I'm sure I'll learn that. I'm sure I'll learn all that, Shane, when I attend baking classes. I'm good. I'm pretty good. Like I'll take notes. I'm good at following orders. I'm good at I'm military man. I know. I can stick with like recipes and like things like we still play. Oh yeah, we bowling. That's what Dazzle loved that Mama Janet. She loved that Wii bowling that I had. That was her favorite game. That's why it was unfortunate that we don't. But it's like we didn't replace it after that broke. I said no, I'm not buying another game after that. I heard the air of the Philippines, the power outages, you gotta keep all unplugged. Yes, yeah. Dazzle does that, Shane. Dazzle does that all the time. The minute the power goes out, the minute there's lightning or rain outside, just unplugging all our appliances. Surge protector is a must if you have expensive electronics. Yes. Good. Nice. JB, yeah. Best practice of protecting your investments, surge strips as well helps. Learned decades ago due to the lightning storms. Never leave things plugged in the socket. Yeah, Dazzle's really good at that. I'm terrible at that. I get it. I'm like, I'm trying to turn on the TV sometimes. I got, how come my remote's not working? And then I look, oh, Dazzle, unplug the TV again. Gio found a company on Facebook that showed up in a van and moved his apartment with a couch for him. It wasn't cheap, but I thought it was reasonable. Okay, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you have enough money here. I'm sure, For us, JP, we always consider things like that expensive. I got that Filipino mindset, man. Everything's expensive. Oh man, that's expensive. Ooh, it's raining. It's raining. I can hear raindrops again. Cloudy morning here now. Cloudy and raining here. Safari Tours Africa. Hey, Africa. All right. I don't get many viewers from Africa. Welcome to the channel. Didn't save my pop's house. His TV antenna, the lightning ones, got fried or popped. Then I'm Asian. I love seafood over chicken and beef. Yeah, you're honorary Asian. Yeah, the TV still works. Been going strong for 5 years, as Sergeant recommended. Oh, good. I'm glad. The surge protector probably helped that, JB. The soy sauce in Japan is light. Yep. I like it, but here it costs a lot. It costs a lot here too. The Kikkoman. I buy the Kikkoman soy sauce. I prefer the Kikkoman soy sauce than the Filipino soy. Man, the Filipino soy sauce, the Dato Puti, or Silver Swan soy sauce, them things are like strong, man. They're strong soy sauce. I like my Kikkoman soy sauce. I just need a place that self-sufficient plus the silly farming type. Maybe my brother could also help me. Well, that's the thing, man. A friend of mine was asking me about that. Hey, Ginno, can you introduce me to some ladies there? Man, I've been out of the game for so long, man. I don't know the dating dynamic anymore. Dazzle and I got married in 2016, so I don't. And of course, I don't have any female friends here in the Philippines. That's not gonna go well. If you're married here in the Philippines and have other Filipino friends, that's not gonna work. That Filipinas they're not gonna fly with that. I've yet to find a Filipina that that would understand that. Pretty much like once you get married here to a Filipina, that's gonna be your only Filipina friend. You're not gonna have an outside Filipina friend. That's not, you know. Maybe you can fool yourself to think you can still have other Filipina friends once you're married in the Philippines. That's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly here, man. Hey friends, watching Ginno and James really makes me think of looking outside of my hometown Cavite when we move back to the. All right, Vegasville. All right, all right. Depends that works for you as you have little kids. Might be easier to be close. Yeah, if you got little kids, man, it's better to have close to family because you know, like us, like Dazzle and I, even we have Leanna. Mom's watching Leanna right now, so we have no worries because we know that mom's taking care of. And then when I got sick with cancer, we had people. We have Dazzle's family to like watch our dogs. You know, Dazzle and I went to Iloilo City for 4 months, and you know we had no worries. We knew our dogs were taken care of, our house was taken care of. You know, that's the plus when you have family around. I know many expats here tell you stay away from your Filipinas family, move away. You know, to me it's like family's family, man. It's like. You can think like that, you know. I guess because you know some people, some Filipinos, their families are too much. You know, maybe that happens. But to me, it's like family's family. You got to take care of family. You know, I know if I don't take care of Dazzle's mom, sister, if we don't have that kind of relationship, I know that's not gonna make Dazzle happy. Gino, it's like on the plane. You're told, put on your mask first, then take care of person next to you. Yes, good analogy there. Good analogy there, Daniel. I like that. Yeah. Take care of yourself first before you take care of others. And I always made sure that, you know, it's not like, you know, people say, oh, you're giving your money away or whatever. I don't look at it like that. I'll always make sure that I have a good life, you know, and then that, you know, once I have a good life here in the Philippines, I can share with people that I love, you know. Good, yeah, thank you, true, true. I try to treat my retirement or now funds like my right hand, the one I eat with. Yeah, yeah, thank you, good analogy there too, Shane. Yep, same soy sauce, umami sauce. Use it for a lot of different. All right, good. I got to the bottom. Oh, there's more. Balikbayan guy. Hey, John. Balikbayan guy. Glad I caught you during that. I was busy. Hey, no worries, man. I'm about to end it. Though. Unfortunately, John. But you can watch the replay. You know, it's been a good live stream. Thank you so much for everyone that joined the live stream. Been a night good live stream today. After I am certain I will love the Philippines, then I will be open to finding. Yes, good man. That's the thing, JP. Like that's the best way. You know, it's like you know, get settled here, enjoy the Philippines. You know, don't rush into a relationship with a Filipina. Filipinas are gonna come. You know, there's a lot of Filipinas here. The people that are in such a hurry. You know, finding that Filipina, finding that partner. You know, less successful in my opinion. It's better to like. You know, have a good life here in the Philippines first, settle yourself, get used to the culture here, and then meet your Filipina. Cook it at lower temp. Oh, okay, that's a trick. All right, Captain Ron. Yeah, okay. I'll have to get because it dried the chicken. You know, I was like, man, what happened to the? I mean, I ate it. I put some kimchi and salsa on it. You know, just to like. We ate it with kimchi and salsa to make it like more, at least add a little bit juice on it. I must say, part of your recon should be vetoing your Filipinas family. Vetoing your Filipinas family. Like. All right, Daniel. Have a good day. Everyone. Thank you again for have a blessed day. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you on the next live stream. Thank you so much again.